Well, hello. Welcome, ultimate music teachers and students and musicians. And today we're in music theory class. And I'm about to share with you 4 common mistakes when writing harmonic intervals of a second using eighth notes. Sounds simple, doesn't it? But in fact, there is 4 common mistakes that we often see. My name is Glory St. Germain from Ultimate Music Theory, and I'm jumping inside the complete workbook today and sharing with you a couple of tips. So I want to say welcome to our viewers, and I have a few questions for you. So hope you're going to share with me in the chat box, what are some of the common mistakes that you see when you're writing harmonic intervals of a second using eighth notes? So let's get started. Inside the Complete Rudiments workbook, we see that we're learning how to write harmonic intervals of a second. Now, it might sound simple, but oftentimes we see common mistakes. So what might be one of them? Well, the first common mistake when writing harmonic intervals of a second, now remember, a harmonic interval is harmony. 2 notes played together at the same time, and they are right beside each other. That's just simple interval of a second, right? So when we're writing them, they have to be touching, because if we're written separately, that would be a melodic interval. So what are the common mistakes when writing a harmonic interval of a second using eighth notes? So here's number 1. When writing harmonic intervals of a second, we see that we have 1 stem going up and 1 stem going down. So which in fact is the correct stem direction? Well, the lower note determines that the stem direction goes up because it's below the middle line. And on the middle line, the stem direction could go either way. The stem could go up or the stem could go down. So when looking at mistake number 1, what do you identify as what's wrong with this picture? Well, let's reveal the correct way to write an interval of a harmonic second. So the note furthest away from the middle line is the boss. That's the one that determines the stem direction. So when we take a look, we see that the lowest note is the note on the left, which in this case is A, below the middle line. So the stem direction goes up on the right, and therefore he's the boss. So the note furthest away from the middle line is the boss when writing an interval of a harmonic second. Did you get that one right? Go ahead and share with me, when writing harmonic intervals of a second, what do you see as a common mistake when you're writing these? So let's take a look at common mistake number 2. Common mistake number 2. Can you already recognize the mistake? Well, let's check it out. The note furthest away from the middle line would in fact be the upper note, which is the D. And the stem is down on the left. So far so good, right? But here's the tricky part. When we look at the flag, we see that the flag is going to the left. And oftentimes we just go ahead and throw in a stem, but in fact, the stem always indicates a flag must go to the right. So yes, stem down on the left. Yes, lower note is written on the left. However, the flag has to go to the right. So that's common mistake number 2. Now, I'm really enjoying seeing you here, and I want to welcome Jean. So thank you, Jean, for joining us. And I see that I have Jean on here. Oh, we have Jean and Jean. And I also see Sheen on here. So thanks for joining me. You know, I think one of the important things is when we go to music theory class, we really want to learn things. And when we're open to learning, it's amazing at how we can discover all these common mistakes that we sometimes don't think about until we actually see them and realize, oh, I never thought of that. But yes, in fact, I do that. Yes, Christopher, you are right. The flag always goes to the right. Right. So let's take a look at common mistake number 3. So I'm going to give you a test on this one. So common mistake number 3. When writing a harmonic interval of a second using eighth notes, what could be wrong with that picture? Well, let's start at the beginning. The lower note is always written to the left of the stem. So far, so good. The note furthest away from the middle line determines the stem direction. So here we realize that the stem direction had to go up on the right, and here the stem direction went down on the left, and the flag always goes to the right. So the lowest note is on the left. It determines the stem direction goes up on the right, and both of the flags are pointing to the right. So what is the mistake? Go ahead and share with me. What do you think is the mistake with number 3? They look like they're melodic and they're too close. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, Christopher, because in fact, when you're writing a harmonic interval, they are touching, which is correct. However, when writing an interval of a harmonic second, you only need one stem, and the stem is always written in the middle of the 2 notes. So in fact, if we had 2 notes together and they each had stems, it would be either incorrect because they only need one stem, or if you're writing harmonic intervals, melodic intervals, then they would need to be separated. But if they're touching, they are harmonic intervals and they only need one stem. So let's review. We have the lower note written to the left of the stem, okay? And then the lowest note determines the stem direction, which would go up on the right. The flag is always written to the right of the stem, and each harmonic interval of a second only needs one stem. So far, so good. What could we possibly have left? We've covered mistake number 1, 2, 3, and here's mistake number 4. Yes, too close for melodic. So number 4, big reveal. Now, this is a tricky one. This is really tricky. Now, remember the question is, when writing an interval of a harmonic second using eighth notes, what is mistake number 4? What is mistake number 4? So the lower note is always written to the left. Okay, so the lower note's on the left, correct. It always indicates that the lowest note, or the note furthest away from the middle line, determines the stem direction. So a note furthest away from the middle line, which would be upper note here, determines the stem direction down on the left. The flag always goes to the right. So the flag is going to the right. When we have a harmonic second, we only need one stem, and it only has one stem. So what is the mistake? I can't wait to see your answers. What is the mistake? Well, for the big reveal, let's check it out. The answer is that the flag does not go into the note head when writing an interval of a harmonic second using eighth notes. Now, here's the tricky part. When you are looking at music, so the typeset, the written music, you will often see that the flag, in fact, goes into the note head. And the reason for that is that the flag, whether written up on the right, if the stem goes up on the right, or if the stem goes down on the left, the flag is actually the same size. So when we flip it, the flag goes into the eighth notes. And it's really a pet peeve of mine. And also Sheila McKibben-Uren, who is the co-author with me on the Ultimate Music Theory series. And on one of her blogs, Sheila writes amazing, amazing blogs. And you have to check it out, ultimatemusictheory.com. Click on the blogs and go to the note name for harmonic intervals, 4 common mistakes. You're going to see her blog, which is absolutely amazing. So make sure you check out that blog. One of the things when writing, and remember that's what we're talking about today, when writing harmonic intervals of a second, if you have the stem that's going down and the flag, of course, that goes to the right, it does not touch the note head. So if you were doing an exam or if you were just writing out your music, this would actually be considered incorrect. So you want to make sure that the flag does not touch the note head. Does that make sense? Okay, so now let's review the 3 rules. 3 rules. Okay, so yes, and Christopher adds that stem not long enough, making the flag really unclear. This is true as well. Now, when we're doing the 3 rules, they are this. So rule number 1 is that when writing an interval of a harmonic second, the lower note must be written on the left. Lower note on the left. Each interval of a harmonic second, the flag is determined by, the stem direction is determined by the note furthest away from the middle line. Number 2, the flag always goes to the right. Flag always goes to the right. And the length of the stem is approximately 1 octave. So stem length is approximately 1 octave. When writing a harmonic second, each one only has 1 stem, and the flag always goes to the right. And finally, when writing an interval of a harmonic second, and I probably could have done a little longer stem on this one, but make sure that the stem does not go into the note head. Okay, so now I would like to invite you to come to music theory class. So tomorrow, which is Wednesday, I'm doing a live webinar for music theory class. You can simply go to, and I will actually share my little screen here. You're going to go to musictheoryclass.com and go ahead and get registered. It's a live webinar. I'm going to be sharing with you a whole bunch of details on melody, harmony, and rhythm, which is the key. So the key word for today is class. So go ahead and type in the chat box, class, C-L-A-S-S, as in music theory class, and I will see you tomorrow on the webinar live. So bring your questions, go ahead and share this. You can invite your friends, whether you are a musician, whether you're a student, just kind of curious about how you can learn more about music theory, whether you're a teacher and you just want to learn all those little extra rules and things, make sure that you get registered. It's going to be a live masterclass. It is Wednesday, June the 26th is our first one. So make sure to sign up and I will see you on the inside. So may all your intervals be harmonic. Remember, they all have to have a hug. So I'm wishing you a great hug today and I will see you inside musictheoryclass.com. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me.